one of the crucial skills for a salesperson today is not to know the customer, but it's to understand the customer. It's more about listening and then adapting your offering than it is about traditional sales skills where you try to convince them that your product is really good. It's about understanding their needs and then personalizing the offer to make sure that you bring value to them.
Okay, so we are imagining a young new salesperson, 1-2 years of experience, right? But the whole history of myself, I've been in sales nearly 15 years, I've been told that there's segmentation, right?
Yeah.
So you have a certain market, certain area they need to go to. So what advice and how do you, because in your presentation you talked about salesperson and a corporate, let's say a human and a corporate human, right?
Yeah.
Can we speak the same way about a salesperson and a corporate salesperson?
Of course,
Right.
of course. The corporate salesperson has monthly targets, has quarterly targets, there's bonus systems behind it. And you manage the targets, you don't manage the customer. You're not trying to bring value to the customer, you're trying to achieve your targets.
Exactly.
And I'm a fan of targets. I think you need targets to make a difference. But if you only focus on that side of the story, you're not going to be a successful salesperson because you're going to become more and more pushy. You're going to bring less and less value, and it's not gonna work. To come back to your question, you've been trained to work on an industry or a segment. It's perfectly fine to say, look, you're a salesperson that has to go for the retail industry, for instance. But within the retail industry, don't make the assumption that they all need the same at the same moment. Try to understand the different needs of every customer. Every customer is also convinced that they are unique. So you have to make sure that you understand that uniqueness and that you adapt everything that you do towards their perception of their uniqueness.
So customizations, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a tricky question then. What if your boss says, okay, you have to hit the target? And
Then you have to hit the target, but you do it everyone needs to achieve their targets. But you can do it in a customer-centric way. You can do it in a way that it brings value. For instance, if you need to reach your target, you can be really pushy, or you can think, all right, what kind of knowledge do we have in our organization that I could share with a customer that helps them further? And if you reach out with knowledge or something that brings value to that customer, they will come back to you automatically if they have a need. If you just push the product at them, that's no value for them. Then they will ignore you at a certain moment. It will become harder and harder to reach them. So you can achieve the target, but in a way that it's bringing value to that customer.
So in a way you are saying that target is nice, but if you are really pressed to hit the target, you first need to ask your manager what extra you can give, right? What kind of technology, what kind of learnings you can get.
But I don't think you need to ask your manager. I think it's your own responsibility to understand that. And if you work in the retail industry, for instance, you follow the news about your clients, you follow what they are doing on social media, you react on their social media posts and you see, this is something that they're working on. I'm going to see what we have here in our organization that could facilitate them. Or if they've won an award, I'm gonna send a small present for them to show my appreciation of them.
So in this AI world, you talk a lot about personalization. So how to stay human in this AI world? How to stay human?
Yes, very, very good point. Because, AI will automate almost everything. AI will be good in empathy as well, probably better than us humans if you look at the latest research. But there are two things that salespeople have that AI does not have.
Okay.
Or that successful salespeople have. It's passion, because a computer cannot show passion. I can show passion for my job to you by the way that I talk, how I talk, the energy that I put into things. And connection. Humans can connect. We can transfer positive energy between us. That is something that a machine cannot do.
Passion and
connectivity.
Passion and connectivity.
Yeah.
And then in this case, is a salesperson, a good salesperson, is something that you are born with, or this is a skill that you can develop even in these times? Is a good salesperson born, or you can learn from it?
You can definitely learn. Some people are born with it without any doubt, that are naturals, but that's a very limited group of people. Most successful salespeople really made the analysis of how they work, what they do, what works well and doesn't work well. They train themselves, they take external training and inspiration, and they adapt over time to be successful. Yeah.
Okay, so they adapt. And imagine again, we have a young community, society, and so for this young, what would you recommend? What is the first skill, or let's say a couple of skills where they need to focus right now at the moment? What do they need to develop first in order to be a successful salesperson?
Listening skills. Listening to what people are saying, learning to read between the lines, trying to understand their needs is for me the crucial skill. And then the second skill is showing up with passion, showing up with connectivity. Every time when you meet someone, make sure that they feel that you're passionate about your job, about your organization, about them as a client. If you show up with passion, and you bring value to that customer, that's the second skill that you need.
Okay, so listening and then passion.
Showing up with
Okay,
passion.
so passion, I understand it's energy, right? Yeah. How do you personally, do you have something that keeps the energy going? Because how long can you stay, active and energized if you keep hearing no and no and no? What keeps you driving? Let's say, what is that? Because sales is a hard job.
It's our job, yeah.
Yeah. So every year or certain amount of time you hear no, no, no. How to still be?
Yeah. Success is keep on going without losing enthusiasm, even if you hear no's now and then. And the truth is, salespeople over-focus on the no, because most companies that I know get more yeses than no's. Even if you get 1 out of 3 yeses and 2 out of 3 no's, that's a big hit. And you need to mentally be strong enough to play that game, and don't focus on the no's and focus on the yes.